any point in time, if you run into an error, you could literally just talk to your computer. And so this is where the future of work is going as well. Just last night, Google announced Gemini 2.0, and their Flash Gemini has absolutely changed the world forever. And I'm not even joking. And in this video, guys, I'm gonna explain how Gemini Flash 2.0 will make thousands of new millionaires in 2025 with their new APIs. And it's gonna teach literally billions of people in new ways to learn new things faster than anything I've ever seen since ChatGPT. I'm so excited from what came from Google, guys, that it was actually something that I was waiting for the past 5 or 6 months. And that is a couple of new APIs that we have access to, because now we can create softwares that can literally be worth maybe billions. So anyways, let's get into this video. First thing first, guys, we're gonna break down what Gemini Flash 2.0 is, what it does. Right now, I consider it the world's best assistant. It can help you learn anything 10 times faster, and we're gonna go through that together. The updates that we're gonna talk about, guys, are like the 2D, 3D spatial understanding, the fact that it can view your screen, and the fact that it can understand real-time video. If you guys remember some of the Bolt.new videos that we made, we used vision models that can only understand images. This vision model can understand videos. Okay, so that's one of the things that is absolutely insane. But the next thing that we're gonna talk about today, guys, that Gemini has a Flash API. And this Flash API allows us to use these new crazy features in our own software companies. And so the real-time video API is exactly what I'm talking about. And we're gonna give you guys examples in today's video, but they even came out with this grounding feature, which uses Google search. And so if you ever needed to validate any of the information, grounding literally searches the web in the prompt. And so now in your software companies, you basically have Google under the hood as well. And so there's so many different use cases that we're going to talk about today, like building software companies, building automations, building agents, and how Gemini Flash 2.0 can help you because it can literally view your screen. And so previously you used to have to use an LLM model like ChatGPT to actually chat with if you ever have an error. But now if you ever have anything that you don't understand, you can literally just talk to your computer. And so today we're going to break that down. And so the first thing we're going to talk about, guys, is actually using Gemini Flash. And so this is for normal use. Like if I'm using my computer day in, day out, I'm going to show you some examples that I would actually use Gemini for. So let's get into my computer real quick. And here I am looking at a brand new make.com scenario. So if you guys are subscribed to this channel, you guys know that I'm helping you guys build AI agencies. And a lot of AI agencies require you to understand how to build automations for clients. And sometimes building a new automation could be quite difficult. And previously you used to have to chat all day to figure out what was wrong with your automations. But now the fact that Google can view my screen, building automations has absolutely changed forever, and building anything has changed forever. But in this example, guys, we're gonna build out an automation with Google Gemini, just a really quick one to show you how powerful it is. So I'm gonna head into their AI studio. And the other crazy thing about this studio right now is that it's completely free. So while OpenAI is going all about their 12 days of Christmas while selling ChatGPT for $200 a month, here Google is quietly shipping the most powerful tool I've ever seen, and it's completely free. That's like the greatest marketing move I've ever seen as well. So like I'm gonna be coming out with so many new Google videos because of this announcement. But anyways, guys, let's get into this breakdown. So we're gonna go into this stream real time. And as you guys can see, there's a bunch of different options. And in this example, we're gonna show it our screen. So I open that up and I'm going to click my second browser here and I'm gonna click share. And so now the stream is live and Google can now hear me. So I should probably stop narrating and start talking to Google. So, hey Google, I wanna build a make.com automation that uses ChatGPT to basically build me an ingredient list for a meal plan that I want to build. How would that look in this automation? Can you break it down step by step?
Sure, I can help you with that. Based on the video, your screen shows a make.com workspace, and the first step should be to add a new module. Do you want me to list the next 9 steps to create an automation using ChatGPT?
Yes, please.
Okay, here are the next 9 steps based on what I see in the video. 2. Select the HTTP module. 3. Add a new HTTP request. 4. Set the method to POST and paste your chat GPT URL into the URL field. 5. Click Add a header and add content.
So as you guys can see, that worked really, really well. Okay. And so now I'm going to be sending this request to ChatGPT. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. The next step is to input the request content for the Chat GPT API request in the request content text field.
So we can keep working with this model to basically build out this entire automation. But what's really cool on top of that, guys, is let's say you start building out your automation and you actually stumble across some issues. So in this example, guys, we're actually going to go into my school community. We're going to download a make.com automation that I built for you guys, and then we're going to start building it out, because if you run into an issue, I'm going to show you how you can now solve these issues with Google Gemini and how easy it can be. So it's actually really powerful. I hope you guys are seeing how ridiculous this is. So, okay, so I'm just going to download this Instagram auto sales automation, and then I'm just going to import it into this new scenario. And so here we have this new automation. And so basically we can go back into Gemini and start a new chat about this automation in case I ran into an error, right? So, and then when we click run once, this thing should fail at some point in this automation. And so when it fails, we're then going to, okay, so it failed right here at the flux create an image. And so now let's just say I didn't know how to fix this automation. I would have previously had to download this entire blueprint, open up an LLM, and then talk to that LLM with the chat. But now I can actually just have it watching my screen at all times. And so at any point in time, if you run into an error, you can literally just talk to your computer. And so this is where the future of work is going as well. And so learning this is literally the most valuable thing, because we're soon going to be just talking to our freaking computers, guys. So anyways, so I think the stream started. So hey Google, I'm in this make.com automation, and I ran into the error in module number 4. Could you maybe help me understand what this means when it says the 401 is unauthorized and I have an unauthenticated detail?
Sure. The 401 error indicates that you did not pass a valid authentication token, so you were denied access to the resource. An unauthenticated detail means that your request is not authorized to access the specific information that is being requested.
And so how do I make that work? Do I have to give it an API key?
Yes, it seems you need to provide a valid API key or authentication token so that the request is authorized. Check your API documentation to see how you should provide the token.
Okay, so I'm using this Flux image generator on this website called Replicate. So do I get the API key from there?
Yes, it's likely that you will need to obtain the API key from the Replicate website. It appears you are using a Replicate URL.
Like, that's insane, guys. That is insane. Okay, so it's able to understand exactly like what the issue was and break down exactly how to fix it. And now all I would have to do is actually put in my API key to make this work. But since this was a blueprint, obviously there was no API key in there anyways, right? Because this is something that I just downloaded from my community. And so I just showed you guys a couple of examples of what we can do using this free tool that has been released, and it's extremely powerful. In my opinion, it's the best assistant in the world right now. There's other features that we can do with it as well, like spatial understanding, where you can upload a 2D or 3D image or vector file, and it can actually understand it and break it down a little bit. It can also understand video. And so instead of breaking down this video analyzer on the AI Google Studio, we're going to hop into the next part of this presentation where we talk about the Google Gemini Flash API, because this is where the entrepreneurs are just going to literally like feast. Like, this is where it's at. This is what I've been waiting for months. Like, I can't believe that it's here, because there's so many new use cases that video allows us to do, especially since an AI can now understand video. And so I'm going to be making a ton of new videos using Bolt.new and using this new Flash API to actually show you what new software companies that you can build using this video tool. But I'm just going to show you a quick example of what we can actually use it for in a project that you and I have already built together on this channel. So if we go to Bolt.new real quick, and we open up this calorie tracking app that we built a week ago, we can see that this functionality is set up using an image vision tool, right? So this vision tool is going to track all of the calories from an image of a food that we have inputted, right? But the way that this app can now evolve is, now that we have video, there's so much new functionality that can be added into our already existing software. And so while you have been accumulating users for your AI calorie tracker, now that you have this vision tool, you can add in stuff like a form analysis tracker, tracker, where the users on your app can now actually understand whether or not the workouts that they're doing are using correct form, because the video analysis tool can actually break that down. Or if you have like a basketball sports team that's using this tool, the coaching team can then track every single athlete's shooting percentage, because this vision tool can watch the video of the net and how many times a basket has gone in or not. And so these are just some short-term examples that I'm showing you guys. We're going to be making full video tutorials using this vision tool because it is the most powerful API that we have access to right now. And so I'm just going to literally rapid fire some examples of how this Flash API can literally be turned into mini SaaS companies. And so like the first one could be like a posture video analysis, where you take a video of someone walking and it breaks down their posture and how confident they may or may not seem. And so this can help people kind of fix their posture when they're walking in public. Another one, like I said, could be any type of sport. So like, let's say this is baseball, and every single time a certain athlete goes up to bat, you can track not only how they're swinging and their swinging percentage, but you can actually track the path of the bat and whether or not they're actually in line to connect with a fastball, for example. And like, even when you're tracking like body fat percentage, we used to send in pictures, right? And so now you can actually send in a full video where the user can actually do a full 360 spin every single time. And so that also gives the AI more data to actually give a better response on whether or not the user is losing fat genuinely or not. And one of the crazy ones is the real-time API can last for 60 minutes at once, meaning you can send a stream of a video to this API to break down certain stats. And so this can be tracking entire games, so entire sports. So like, let's say, two hockey teams are playing against each other. This API will eventually be able to track all the shots on goal and do all of those manual tasks that can basically be automated now. But when it comes to actually building your AI agencies, this is honestly the biggest advantage that I've ever seen, because the main advantage of joining my community, for example, is that you get access to me. And the main advantage of building your AI agencies out is that you get to install automations that help businesses grow at paces that they've never seen before. But your learning curve and your actually growth of understanding the actual automation game is really difficult. But now that this tool is out, the ability for you guys to learn really, really fast is like extremely possible. And now that these tools are coming out, we can start developing softwares that are competing with $100 million companies. And so like, this is literally the greatest opportunity I've ever seen. And in my opinion, it's kind of like Christmas came early.